Black community always had a treasurer and governance. Many times, Africans are portrayed as wild beasts without governance and affluence, but that's a lie. We are here to speak the truth and to organize as we bring back order to a society that has been infiltrated. We always collected our money together by paying tithes and tribute to royals that made sure the community has food, housing, schools, hospitals, and land to cultivate, as seen with kings as Mansa Musa, who had enough money to feed his nation. Wealth is meant to multiply. Back in Africa, we had a society that fed and housed our community. We had doctors and healers that did this work for a pension from the royals. We had treasurers who were not banks, yet collectively gather wealth to fund community development. Imagine this: a city within its wall. The market distributes free food that was prepared to merchants by treasurers, and its homes with the city is owned by the citizens. Criteria to enter this marketplace is a tithe. Imagine artistry and affluence within this city. Treasurer collected the wealth from the public and meticulously decide how to spend the community fund overseen by king. Projects as meal plans, healthcare, education and housings were a priority, in that order. 21st century, we do not pay tithes, but we neither is fed and housed for free. Without insurance we cannot afford medicine. Let I take you back to Africa, where language and education was first developed. We had a system, some calls it Oswe, Susu, Partner, or Partner, and we had this system in which we collectively circulate wealth back into an impoverished community. We always took pride in caring for our society. It was colonial infiltration that prevented us to pool our currency together. We had tribal wars and political differences that colonial benefits from. When we were united, we were very powerful people. Tithes doesn't have to be expensive, but it ranges between 1 to 10% of your monthly earnings. With this 10%, we established free housing district and subsidized meal plans. When we were family-orientated, we see each other as family and not strangers. Our society catered for the survival of every single individual. Africa, with approximately 1.216 billion people, can incorporate Ashekean Philanthropy Incorporation in their system. We are a black-owned company that has the perfect solution to poverty. Imagine this: every time you use our API apps, we fund poor communities across the globe, especially members of Afro-Caribbean, African, First Nation and Afro-American descendants through tithing system. We provide a service in which proceeding funds community initiatives. Imagine you give only $3, and your community is coming out of poverty slowly but meticulously. All our services we provide funds our communities. Use our messenger, taxi, and social platform to help the community. 3/4 of the proceeding goes to community development. Therefore, 75% goes to poverty relief efforts and 25% goes towards community development and business maintenance. We do have maintenance fees and employees' compensation, food drive, rent subsidy, welfare, grants. Thus, 1/4 goes to the upkeeping of the business. Ashekean Philanthropy Incorporation is a treasury of the community it serves. Can you imagine a place where African descendants can rely on its social service? We are not only asking for donation but requesting you use our services that proceeding funds community development. It's a tragedy that housing and meal plans are not free in today's society with all the innovation. A black tithe not constrained by religious belief, and yet it unifies a nation. We had amenities and businesses and society that was a mass trade. We were economists by nature. Stock dividends is assured for prepaid sales from small business. Suspend is stock share value with indefinite payouts, or else stock is a pyramid scheme. The market funds community development and assure public livelihood. Nowadays stock depreciates, and this shouldn't occur, or else it's fake stock. Shares should be reimbursed in time of business liquidation. Our economy had in the past subsidizes our community development. Now, after colonial infiltration and white supremacy, our economy built capitalism for foreign nations. Our nation and government put limits on freelance business and limit technological advancement through policies. In the 21st century, JM Bank of Jamaica still haven't created their own APIs as marketplace payment gateway, and UK does. Jamaica doesn't have their own company like Uber. They claim its liability, but first world countries support innovation and technological advancement. It is only rideshare and as self-employment cannot attain above 10K month. It's freelance. They claim who will ensure the life of passengers, but First Nation embrace self-employment. Jamaica was once the leading nation of technological advancement, but what happened? Houses are not given addresses but district. It seems Jamaica has limited amenities. Is this intentional or poor management? Black community, let's term it a little world of its own. A great one for those who inhabit it. Imagine life without the basic amenities, and the solution is Afro-Sales app. Lack of amenities is an issue facing the Black community. The struggle to live and afterwards the struggle to feed. Deep in the heart of all men and women, turns out later a strive but very much essential to the survival of the Black community are those amenities. But its displacement and absence thus has led to low standard of living amongst the people. On a particular perspective, the standard of living is very much high compared to the income received or gained. And that's why a young family of 5 find it extremely difficult to survive, even when both parents are working so hard. Considering the schooling aspect, it does influence the standard of living greatly, compared to the income generated. Nowadays parents aren't compensating enough. Critically reasoned, basic amenities are for comfort and leads to development of any community if present. Having amenities creates room for improvement in standard of operation and alleviates slow development. Instance, the basic amenities include pipeline waters, technological innovation, construction, electricity, etc. Would-be these are made affordable or quite free by the government, would to an extent aid. But it's just heartbreaking, cause the standard of living is much higher than the income coming in, and at the end these children have to give up on school when their parents can no longer afford it. And is education the only thing? No. Man can only eat if he has a stable source of income, which we know was impossible but now plausible in the Black community. Lack of opportunities within job offices is most like a wound eating deep in us. There are hardly any job to go round entire persons in a small area, thankless large cities, hence infiltrated by prominent members of other communities, and the people cannot do anything about it, hiring their own. Nevertheless, it's not just enough to be educated, but it's very unbearable. Many struggle to be to an extent, cause of lack of job opportunity in the community. The community is not developed institutions that serves the community, as schools, hospitals, factories, stores, real estates, charities, and etc. Be the change the community needs. Black, the above are just a minimal aspect of the troubles faced by the average Blacks. We haven't mentioned how people lose their lives yearly as a result of extremely low medical facilities. Faced with the Black community is absence of good and effective medical facilities, which is amongst the basic amenities, if not the most important of them all, but looked down upon. Lots of death occurrences due to insufficient and efficient working facilities to maintain and support life. Imagine a hospital, claimed to be owned by the government, not having an insulin. It isn't entirely the government's fault. Funds aren't just there to go around due to poor management of our funds. Undeniably, the Blacks has been faced with a trauma of overpopulation and with less or not much job vacancies to support and improve standard of living, thus leading to its decadence. In a country where there are over 100 million population, with less than 4 million population jobs, what do you expect people to survive on? After successfully striving to send yourself to school with hope of alleviating your plight, it appears to be all scam because the jobs aren't there to fall back upon. They resort to taking menial jobs which cannot do more other than cater for their basic feeding needs, of which it's getting costly with every passing day. Afro-Sales, how we help to curb poverty in the Black community. Afro-Sales is an African-American non-profit organization based in Canada. We can save as a group to distribute wealth across the globe for few cents a day. Help in creating financial equality. We work towards ensuring a life free from inequality and poverty for every African American. Even $1 can make a change. Copy this idea, just cause competition and change the focal point. Participate first, before recreating the wheel. It is counterproductive, rather manufacture cars. Help us to extend and develop the community. Be a donor and enjoy the awesome privileges of Afro-Sales. We do more on the crowdfunding to feed the Ottawa, Ontario African and Caribbean community. We are faced with inflated food and housing prices. To aid the community, we rely on your donations. AfroSales has helped to improve the lives of countless customers around the globe while also helping to curb poverty in communities throughout Africa, Europe, Asia, South America, and North America. The power of providing. There are many gaps that exist between a need and a solution. At AfroSales, we see the immense power of providing companies with the opportunity to do good through purchasing ethically made clothing from Africa. Whether it's by donating clothing or by providing employment opportunities, there is always a way for your company to provide economic development for those in need. Your company can also be involved in other ways like sourcing inventory or investing as an angel investor with us so you can be involved every step of the way. We want to give our customers the best experience possible, and this means doing what we can to ensure they are not just buying clothes, but making a difference while they do. But it doesn't stop there. When you become a partner with us, you'll have access to various resources, such as exclusive partnerships and collaborations to make your business more successful. We're here to grow together and create change together. And, no matter how big or small your contribution is, it still counts. Free stuff that puts food on the table. Instead of wasting resources due to no sales, we encourage business to give away these products that they would have thrown away as free coupons. As a small business, AfroSales provides this with its 30% off coupon for anything. Some customers may not need all of their staples, but use the sales and coupons as money to put food on their tables and in turn, supporting our mission. The power of networking. AfroSales is a social enterprise with a mission of getting the Black communities into business for themselves. Through business education and mentorship, our programs provide African Americans with skills and opportunities that lead to financial stability, breaking cycles of poverty, crime, violence, and low achievement. We leverage the power of mentoring by pairing the Black community, who are starting or have started their own businesses, with others who have been in business for more than 1 year. Mentors offer guidance on strategic planning, management techniques, marketing plans, and access to networks of suppliers. Over 90% of participants leave with a better understanding of how to start and run their own successful business. For those interested in buying supplies, we introduce them to wholesale markets where they can buy at bulk rates. In addition, our projects generate revenue from products created from locally sourced ingredients. With your support, AfroSales will be able to reach many more underserved communities in need of entrepreneurship development services. The needs are great, and we must continue doing what we do best, helping fellow African diasporas find success. Your donation could mean a world of difference to someone just like you, who's trying to make it. Please donate today so that you can make an impact on someone else's life and future. Thank you so much for your support. S.M.A.A.T goals, setting up a plan for how the company will function and how funds will be distributed. Plan for what responsibilities the employees and volunteers have. Selling products with an emphasis on providing jobs and economic growth. Executing regular inventory checks to ensure product availability. Knowing where revenue is being generated, donations, employee salaries, volunteer work hours, etc. Establishing a clear understanding of our mission statement. Staying updated on changes in tax laws that can affect our organization so that we are able to provide more information about them to our supporters. Tax is not a commission but a loan to the government. Encouraging people to make decisions based on their values by helping them see the long-term effects of those decisions. Maintaining transparency and accountability by tracking everything from budget management to grant request. Getting people involved in social justice causes, especially those relating to civil rights and inequality. These goals help us establish the organization's values as well as its priorities. Each goal reaffirms another one, which creates transparency among the S.M.A.A.T goals. The goals also outline steps that need to be taken before we are ready to execute this project, with specific guidelines for implementing these goals within our society. Our team at work. The team at AfroSales is made up of an eclectic mix of business professionals, entrepreneurs, and professionals with a diverse set of backgrounds who are united by their love for philanthropy.